Many people have aspirations to move to Spain so they could sit in nice little garden areas like this in the middle of the summer, or even the start of October in 26-degree temperatures, and just enjoy life. And retirement here has been something that the Brits have done really well in great numbers ever since 2002, when there was over 104,000 people moved to Spain. Yes, 104,000 moved in 2002, and those numbers just kept on going up and up and up. Now a lot of people do move to Spain completely for the lifestyle, let's face it. They're not moving here not for the sun. As well as the cheap cost of living in Spain and the fantastic food around the Spanish regions, it is just a wonderful way, not even for your retirement, but to live. Now, over the years it used to be really easy to move to Spain, and you could just jump on a plane and you could get a job, no worries. But from the UK, all that has changed, and that's not about this video. But the numbers have been steadily declining, although they did reach a high. In 2008, yes, just before the big financial crash, it reached a high of over 302,000 people in that year moved to Spain. But they weren't finished there. It was to reach even higher. Even with the financial crash in 2009 or whenever it was, it didn't stop people wanting to move to Spain or moving to Spain. From 2008 until 2013, there was continuously over 300,000 people every year moved to Spain. Yes, over 300,000 people every single year moving to Spain. And that hit a high in 2014. And then it was around then that the numbers started to drop gradually. Not drastically, but gradually. Even to this day, there are still thousands upon thousands, and stick around because I am going to tell you the exact number in just a minute. Whilst it was people from the UK that was moving to Spain in vast numbers to sit in front of fantastic churches like this and have coffee and tostada in the morning, and then sit and watch the old guys playing dominoes at their favourite local pub, like these guys over here, who just have the absolute ball playing dominoes every single day. But long gone is the days of cheap property in the Valencia region, especially because this is the Valencia region we're in. The Valencia region still comes in number second, actually, of how many people from the UK moved to here. Number one is Andalusia, believe it or not. More people from the UK moved to Andalusia. Maybe it's because there's still cheaper property down in Andalusia than there is here in the Valencian region. 2016, when the Spanish tourism numbers were starting to pick up again in vast numbers, the population of expats and Brits moving to Spain dropped below the 300,000 mark for the first time. For the first time in a long time in 2016, there was less than 300,000 people moved to Spain. And it wasn't the beginning of the end of mass tourism in Spain. If anything, the years that preceded that, tourism in Spain hit record numbers, and even had record numbers of Brits moving to Spain and still coming here on holiday. Those numbers rose dramatically until 2019. 2020, everything went a little bit quiet as not a lot of people travelled, but there were still a lot of people still moving to Spain in 2020, believe it or not. 2019 was seen as a bit of a low point for people moving to Spain because there was only 286,000 odd moved to Spain that year in 2019, and nobody knew what was going to happen in 2020. But something particularly strange happened. I know one of our old favourite bars has been taken over, Maya Bay Gastro Restaurant. It's a shame because I had a cracking pool table up the back of it. It must have been sold, just like many other bars in Torrevieja. So we can all remember what happened in March 2020. The world came to a stop, and everyone thought that we couldn't travel, and we were told that we were not to travel. But something completely remarkable happened. People like me and people like Karen decided to move to Spain. First time since 2016 that the numbers of people that moved to Spain go back over the 300,000 mark. Yes, over 300,000 people moved to Spain in 2020. The numbers don't lie. 300,000 people moved to Spain in 2020. Just think about that. But in 2021, it dropped slightly. It did drop slightly, and we are getting near 2023 for these numbers, which is remarkable when you think about the bad news that's been all over the media. The bad news about Spain, the anti-tourism this year, the anti-tourist protests. When it's not really anti-tourist protests, it's protests about the cost of living, it's protests about the cost of property, and these things are issues all around the world. But there's definitely an anti-Spain media in the UK sometimes, and it shines through no more. It's no more obvious than in some of the rags. But how many people moved to Spain in 2022, you're wondering? So the high of 2020, when there was over 300,000 people moved to Spain, in 2021 the number did drop to 285,000 people. Yes, 285,000 people got their residency in Spain from the UK. But that wasn't to stop people, and it did drop slightly in 2022, which is not greatly a massive number that is dropped by. 2022, the numbers actually went up. They were below the 2020 numbers, but they were more than 2021 as it went back up in 2022, which is amazing. Just under 300,000 people moved to Spain in 2022. Over 291,000 people moving to Spain in 2022. It reduced in 2023 to 285,000 people. Brexit hasn't stopped putting people off moving to Spain. Brexit hasn't stopped people moving to Spain. Don't believe the media and everything that you hear about Brits going home in massive numbers, because they're not. They're not. There was an upsurge of people going home after Brexit due to the fact that they were staying here illegally. They weren't paying their taxes. They didn't want to pay taxes. They didn't want to change their driver's licence. They didn't want a Spanish driver's licence. The same thing goes on in the UK. It's a wonderful place. Moving to Spain has been the best thing that we have ever done. And it's absolutely fantastic because we are living our dream. And on that note, hasta luego.